So now as you can see that I am here in Visual Studio 2013 instance, and now what I'm going to do here is I am simply going to create one new project. So here I'm creating one new project with my Visual C# instance. So under this web I am having this template for ASP.NET MVC for a web application. Let's say sample app, and let's create an shared directory itself. Say okay. Now it's creating my project, and it will now it is giving me a couple of templates over here. So as you can see that okay, it's running in the background. Let's wait for a couple of minutes. So as you can see that Visual Studio has presented me a couple of different kind of project templates. So here I have option web API. So I will go ahead and create this web API controller, sorry, web API project from this project wizard. I'll just click OK. Now in the background it is creating for my first web API project. So that is why it is taking little bit of time. Here I'm also having one more instance running, that is my movie review project, which I have actually uh, made for my book hands-on with ASP.NET MVC, which you might have gone through. So the fact over here is here also I am going to implement web API for an existing project. So let's first get into this how to implement web API when you are using that new project. And once that is done, once we understand everything, then we'll go ahead and look how to do that for an existing project. That means how to implement the same for an existing project. So as you can see that it has been created. Now once this project is created, it presented me the default controller folder. That is nothing but that values controller. So one difference which you can easily notice here, that this values controller is basically inherited from API controller. This is unlike from what normally we have in MVC controller, right? So this is the first difference which you can find from the usual MVC controller. And here these are again, as I said, like all HTTP verbs, like things like get and get with an overloaded get here with an ID, and then this is post, and again put. So these are the various keywords, and these keywords are nothing but that HTTP keywords or HTTP verbs. Now the next thing which I really like you to look inside is my global SX file. So here you can see that all application wide setting is there. So once the application runs on the server, right, these are the settings are going to be configured. So the very interesting point here is this one, web API dot register. So when you hit through this, when you get inside this by clicking F12, it will land you into this config router. That means when I say router, that is nothing but the pattern matching rule. So in case of MVC, we usually have our sample router, like means MVC router, wherein we are having controller and slash ID and all those rules are there. Whatever default rule or if any new rule is getting written over there, then we are writing in that particular file. So in the similar pattern, we are having routes, but that is an API route. So as you can see this is getting started with API and then the controller name and then the ID. So if I simply go ahead and run this, Okay, it is coming now. So it will first load the default page, and once this page is loaded, then we can just get inside and invoke my API controller with that particular route itself. So I will show you that how to do that. Just wait for a couple of minutes, let it get loaded. Actually, my machine is a bit slow, so just bear with me. All right, so it gets loaded. So this is the default template of any ASP.NET Web API project. So it gives you a very good starting point. If you can see here, when you open these links, you can see all videos, tutorials on this particular link. And if you click on this API link, here it will also give you that what are the methods and how it is getting invoked, like get API values, get API with the ID value. If you click on this, it will simply give you the pattern, like how it is getting um, outputted in that particular format, if it is in the XML format, or if it is in the array format, or if it is in the a simple JSON format. So that's okay. Let's get inside home, and as I was saying, in order to invoke that, so I have API, and here my controller name is values. So just copies this, get inside here, let's say API and then values, and when you invoke this, it outputted me this particular value and value too, but this is coming in as an XML format. So by default my Chrome is configured as in to take this XML part as in serialization case. So as I was telling you that serialization is the one topic which we are going to cover in the coming section, like if I have to include, if I have to output the same as in JSON, that how would we do that? So that's a pretty simple rule wherein we can go ahead and suppress this media type application, that slash XML, and we can remove that particular media type, and then in that case JSON will, can be injected from that browser. So we'll see that particular thing in the next section. But before than that, I just wanted to focus you on this particular routing mechanism. So as you can see that what I have done here, I have simply done, I have provided this API with that value controller, and since the ID is optional, so it outputted me this value and value 1 and value 2. So this is the I enumerable which has been outputted here, and if I simply go ahead and provide one ID over here, then it will give me, say it will return simple one value out there. Let's say, let's say 2. So it outputted me one string, and that is nothing but a value which is coming from our get, and this get is nothing but is overloaded get. So in the next section we will also see that how to serialize this value as in XML, and then how to use the same in an existing project.